welcome back to the Dami Show. Except for Harry, Dejan, and honestly Helena. Sorry to say, but Helena, come on. So remember last episode, the boys went on this night out and the girls got to see what was going on, right? And yeah, the episode starts off with the girls just being pissed off. And Helena is clearly pissed off with Harry, but you know what? She's still calling him my man. Like she's saying like I have a problem with my man. Why is he still your man? Like why is it when you see him disrespecting you, why is it not over? On top of that, on top of Harry being so disrespectful towards Helena, Shakira comes out and tells Helena that, Harry, when he was talking with Shakira, he basically told her that he was still in with Shakira, he still thought that there was something going on and that, Shakira was the one for him basically. And he was saying that he's not sure if Helena is just a flirty thing or just kind of like a fun thing that you can toss away basically. He told Shakira that he wasn't into her. And so what is it gonna take? After that, like if after she saw all of that on the TV screen, she was watching him act, after her friend told her that he's not really into her, what if she doesn't snap out of it? I'm gonna start to get, I'm already so frustrated, but I'm gonna start to get frustrated. So then we see Harry's date with, I don't even remember, is it Yasmin? Whatever, it doesn't even matter because he's still obsessed with Shakira. He was just constantly talking about Shakira. He was saying that, there's unfinished business and she has some pride. That's why, basically, he was saying, like, yeah, she has pride, so she needs to, like, cool it off, but there's unfinished business and maybe we're gonna reconnect at one point, which is insane. Like, she literally told you this is over. Why can't you just accept it? I find it so like disrespectful, the fact that this woman, you disrespected her, right? You disrespected Shakira, and then she told you, you know what, it's done, and he just won't accept, like, he won't accept no for an answer. It pisses me off. And then the girl that he's on a date with basically asks him, like, oh, are you interested in me? And then Harry has the nerve to say that he's holding a good pair of aces. Like, he has a good hand, which is, it's insanity to refer to women like that. Am I overreacting? I think I'm reacting like that just because I really don't like Harry. So everything he says just triggers me. And then there's the date with the rugby boy Connor, and it's Emily. And I just find Connor so respectful. I have such a big crush on him. He's definitely the best character, like the best guy character for me. I have such a crush on him. I love how he just tells Emily that whatever he does, he's going to do respectfully. And then Emily asks him if he's going to make coffee. And he doesn't automatically say yes. Like, he's thinking of Tony. He's saying that, he made Tony coffee that morning. So he'll see what happens. I just love that Tony is not like, I feel like all the guys, they kind of forgot about their girls. But Connor is really thinking about Tony and making sure that he's not disrespecting her. Then we see the date with Dejan, which was yucky. Like, in contrast to Connor, Dejan just didn't remember that Meg existed. And basically they do a cheers and they cheers to new beginnings. Like, come on. And then Meg, you can hear her say that, this girl is never gonna be his number one. And I don't know what she meant by that. Maybe she was like, I'm Dejan's number one. But from what I interpret, like, I don't think that a girl is gonna be ever, like, Dejan is never gonna have a number one girl because he has such a wandering eye that I feel like he just forgets the partner that he's seeing and he focuses on a woman that's in front of him. I don't know if this is harsh. Like, I know that Meg and him weren't closed off, but he really did seem to like her. And so the fact that he really seemed to like her in the villa, and then 5 minutes later he meets someone else and he's acting like he really likes her, cheering to new beginnings, it just genuinely seems like he can get over a girl in 2 seconds. The boys come back in the villa and right away they see the screen and they understand that the girls have seen everything. Well, I guess maybe they don't know that the girls saw everything. Maybe they saw just the dates or just the chill out with the guys. But regardless, the girls clearly are pissed off. And I find that the guys act dumb. Like I think Dejan and Harry, they both ask like, why are you mad at me? What's going on? And it's like as if, you know, when a guy tells you like, okay, you're mad, tell me what you think I did, so they don't have to admit everything. And if you don't know about it, they just will not go over it. They won't admit it. They won't talk about it, and they'll just sweep it under the rug. That was the kind of vibe that I got. Like, maybe I'll be silent and I'll see what happens. I'll see what they're mad about, and then I'll apologize for that only. This is where the bombshells also meet the girls. And there was a weird interaction between Tony and Emily. Tony was obviously mad at Yasmin, right? Yeah, Yasmin, the girl in the black dress. And when she was meeting Emily, she kind of pulled her to the side and she said, it seemed like a compliment at first, but it was so bitter the way that she was saying it. She basically told Emily that, yeah, you made a good impression compared to the other girls. So it wasn't a compliment. Like, her goal was to basically bash the 2 other girls. And fair, like, the other girls, maybe they, you know, Yasmin, yeah, she had a few comments that were kind of, they were disrespectful for sure. Like, you don't have to bring down a girl. You don't have to do that, you know? But I just don't like that Tony was giving Emily a compliment, but she wasn't actually. She was just wanting to shit talk the other 2 girls. That was her goal. Then we see Helena pulling Harry for a chat. And obviously I've seen the whole episode, but the predictions that I had before seeing that scene where they're talking is that Helena is pissed off and she's gonna tell Harry, but is she gonna cut things off? Probably not. I think I'm victim blaming here. I think that Helena is just being manipulated by Harry. Like, Harry is not brave enough to just be like, I'm not into you, right? I really don't want to date you. I'm not interested in you at all. Basically, that's what he should say. And so she kind of continues, like, he's being nice to her. He says that he's into her, right? He just clearly doesn't say it with a lot of enthusiasm. And so it's not fair to blame her because it's Harry's job to just be honest. But yeah, I'm not gonna victim blame, but it's so frustrating to watch. Like, it's so frustrating. I just want to shake her and be like, you deserve better. Just go find someone who will value you. And my predictions were correct. Basically, Helena is mad at Harry because he was airing out her dirty laundry. Like, I think that Helena probably told Harry that, you know, she had threesomes and things like that. She just explored a lot, whatever, who cares, right? She probably confided in him, and I mean, you don't just go telling people, like, unless she was like, yeah, I don't care, you can go tell people that, whatever, your boys, whatever. But like, come on, I get the impression that Harry was just trying to entertain his guys. Like, why would you say that? You know, you could just tell the guys, I don't think I'm compatible with Helena's lifestyle. You know, maybe she parties a lot and I don't party, whatever. You could have said anything, but to be like, I don't know, I just feel like that's inappropriate. Like, if somebody tells you, especially a girl, like, it's so taboo. It really shouldn't be. It's messed up that, you know, there's double well, no, even a guy, if he said like, oh, I've had threesomes and I'm down for threesomes, I think it would put off other girls because maybe they don't want to do that kind of thing. And same, you know, the other way, maybe she didn't, whatever. It just seemed like a private conversation that he was fine with just like talking to entertain the guys. That's just my impression. Then there's the really tense conversation between Tony and Yasmin, or Yasmin. I think it's Yasmin, yeah. And basically Tony right away, she says, I didn't appreciate your comment. And Yasmin was just saying like, I was just being honest, or I was just telling my truth. And no, like I agree. I think Tony is very intense and intimidating, but I think it was warranted. I think that it's really trashy, or it's tacky when there's new bombshells that come in and they try to kind of bring down the current bombshell, or the current people on the island, or the other person's current partner on the island, to kind of see if they can replace them, you know, show that, oh, I'm better than your other partner. I think that's tacky. I think that flirting with the guys is 100% fine. Like, you're there to find someone, but to bring down other people while doing it is not, I don't think it's okay. I think it's really disrespectful. And yeah, I think that, you know, it's a good opportunity if there's two girls that are interested in a guy. I see it sometimes, like we see it later in the episode, but the girls, sometimes they work together to kind of see like, okay, is this guy telling us both the truth? And then you can see, they can compare notes and see if this guy has a good character and is truthful. And I find it a shame when I see girls just, like what Yasmin did, it sucks. Like, you could have just said nothing and you can flirt with the guys. You don't need to put down Tony. And then Meg pulls Dejan, and Dejan looks terrified. He just looks not down, not down, but he just looks scared to have this confrontation with Meg. And Meg is pissed off. Like, she goes to him, she basically tells him, you know, I felt disrespected. I felt like you didn't take me into consideration, like, and yeah, I agree with Meg, but also, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Dejan disrespected her. I think that Dejan, maybe he acted too much like he liked Meg. So Meg got the impression that, oh yeah, he really likes me, and so I shouldn't be so threatened when the bombshells come. But they weren't closed off, right? I think Dejan, if he kind of acted closed off because he seemed like he liked her so much. But they never had the conversation. So at this point, I understand both sides. I understand that Meg is emotional because it sucks to see your current partner, the person that you're partnered up with, so down for another girl when he has shown that to you for the past week. I get it. And I also get Dejan. I don't think that he full on disrespected her. I think he hurt her feelings, but disrespected her, I don't think so. Then there's another conversation between Dejan and Militia. She seems to pull him constantly, like she's constantly talking to him. Good, I mean, good for her. She's allowed to do that. But basically, Dejan is ranting about his conversation with Meg. You know, he's kind of getting like this emotional support from this girl. And Meg is fuming in the kitchen. Like, obviously she sees it, like she gets a little bit emotional. At one point, Harry hugs her. But she goes into the kitchen and she's fuming. Like, she's basically trash talking Militia. You know, she's making fun of her for going to that, I guess it's a club, what is it called, like vape or something, I don't know, I'm from Canada, I don't know this, but basically Militia hears and she is kind of asking her like, okay, excuse me, like, what are you saying? And she's talking to her like across the villa, so she has to yell, and then they get into like this spat, and yeah, it's not cute. And you can tell that Dejan is just overwhelmed with the situation. He clearly doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't want to take sides. That's just my impression, but he doesn't say anything. And it's an uncomfortable conversation for everyone. In the morning, Harry brings coffee to Helena, which I don't know why, because he basically hates her. Like, I mean, no, he's basically indifferent about her. So I don't know why you're bringing her coffee. And then she hugs him. I'm begging you, Love Island production team, for sure you're not listening to this, but can we please bring in someone who would be down for Helena, who would like treat her properly so she knows that she's able to be treated differently? I beg you. Please. It's sad to watch. And then Dejan brings a coffee to Meg, and you know, they're a little bit better. They also cuddled in bed last night. And then Connor, the rugby boy, I love him. I have a crush on him. But he basically was authentic to himself. Like, he was saying that, no, I'm not down to bring a coffee to Tony. And so he brought a coffee to Emily. And you know what? I applaud him for not giving mixed signals. Like, okay, maybe Dejan doesn't know at this point, but Harry, you know, come on, man, stop lying. Like, and stop lying to yourself, because when you're lying to yourself, you're also hurting other people. But Connor, you know, he's being true to himself. He understands what he wants. And yeah, I appreciate that. My anger is fueled by the other conversation between Helena and Harry in the morning. And Harry is trying to shut it off. Like, you can tell that he's not interested. He's basically saying that, you know, I understand if you want to call it quits. I don't want you to keep being angry with me, and I would rather you be alone and happy. That is basically code for, can you please break up with me? Like, I can't break up with you, and I'm not interested in you. Can you please break up with me? Like, I know it. I've seen, my sister recently had a breakup, and it was exactly that. So, yeah, maybe she doesn't know that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm... But, like, damn, I'm not wrong. Harry wants to break it up. If a guy is saying, I understand if you want to break up, then, like, yeah, it's time to break up. It's like the Freudian slip, you know? If you're really into someone, you don't see breakup, you don't really think of a breakup, right? But Harry is probably constantly in his head like, you need to break up with Helena, you need to break up with Helena. So it's kind of like coming out, but in a cowardly way. Unfortunately, Helena also is kind of a liar to herself. She's telling Harry that if this situation was on the outside, that she would just walk away and call it quits. Really? I don't think that's true. Like, I don't believe her. And then at the end of the conversation, you see her in the confessional, and she's basically like super happy. She's smiling from ear to ear. Like, this conversation went miraculously when they were talking about breakup and how this wouldn't work on the outside. And she's just so happy. And basically she's saying that he's working his charm. And like, I don't see it like that at all. I think that he's just doing like the very bare minimum. Then there's another conversation between Meg and Malisha that I really appreciated. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, this is how I love to see the Islanders working together, especially two women that are into the same guy, and they're comparing notes and they're working together to see what's going on. And I like that. Like, it empowers me to watch women work like that. Yeah, it's gonna go south in the next conversations, but both women said I'm sorry. And then Malisha, she kind of tested the waters. She was like, oh, I would hug you, but like maybe not yet. And then Meg was like, no, like bring it in. I love a hug. And so they hug, and it was a really cute moment. Surprise, surprise, Malisha again asks Dejan to go for a chat, and she is so bold. I can appreciate it, like, good for her. But she asks Dejan to go to the hideaway, and that's, I mean, come on, that's super secluded, like, that's pretty intense. And Dejan is saying like, oh, maybe not, like, let's just go to the terrace. And Dejan is telling Malisha that if Meg comes off with the same vibe, you know, the conversation where she was saying that he was disrespecting her, if she comes with the same vibe, then I'm telling you, it's gonna be over. Like, it's so aggressive, and at that moment, like, I already know it's over. Like, he's so frustrated with her, and he's just kind of like pissed off. Yeah, he's not into her. Like, if he's gonna talk about her like that, just being, again, like the same thing as the Harry situation. Like if a guy starts bringing up breakup, then it's over. It's already over. And meanwhile, Meg with her girlfriends, she's freaking out. Like, she's basically on the same vibe that Dejan said that he's not down for, and that if he saw her act like that, it would be over. And it's kind of scary. Like, when she was hyping herself to go up, I was like, oh my god, no, please. I was getting so nervous, because yeah, it's just about, I mean, to be fair, I'm happy that if she, like, I like how quickly she can get away from Dejan if she acts, you know, she's just being herself. Like, she's hurt and she's emotional and she's acting the way that she's acting, like she's just being herself. So, but it just made me nervous because I knew that there was going to be a confrontation. Then Meg starts to listen. I mean, she goes up to the terrace and she starts like listening a little bit, and at one point she just like busts the door open, and I'm holding my breath. And it didn't go as bad as I thought. Like, Dejan and Militia were so calm, and I thought Dejan was just going to be like, hell no, this is over. Yeah, but it was super calm. Like, good job, Dejan. You did good. I mean, I think I underestimate him, because when I see, like, the bad, I feel like when I see the bad side, especially in the contestants, I'm like, oh yeah, that person's bad. But like, that's not true. Like, of course, Dejan is whatever. He's allowed to do all this too. Like, he's not a bad person or anything. But basically, I didn't like the way, like, Militia left, right? And then I didn't like the way that he was basically like shutting her down. He was saying like, you know, I didn't embarrass you. Okay, maybe you didn't disrespect her, but maybe you embarrassed her. Like, it's not for you. You can't tell someone that you didn't embarrass them, because she felt embarrassed. And then Dejan basically explains to Meg that, you know, if she keeps acting that way, like if she's overly emotional, he says, I don't want to call it quits, but basically I'm gonna have to if you keep being that emotional. He didn't say that exactly, but that's basically what it was, you know, that's what he was saying. And that made me, like, if a guy that I was seeing said that to me, it would make me feel so insecure and unsafe, because, I mean, to be fair, Meg is reacting very intensely, but it makes me feel like Dejan just doesn't want to deal with her emotions. Like, he's just like, this is uncomfortable, like, you're acting emotional because you're hurt and I can't deal with that. And it sucks. Like, if you can't be emotional and kind of like be hurt, I wouldn't feel safe in a relationship like that. And he also says something like, you know, if this happens again, we're gonna have to call it quits, which is like, what? Also, even if Dejan, like, it could happen, right? He meets Meg, he really likes her, and then his head turns for Militia, but I think it's a pattern, like just how quickly it went, and just the fact that now he like can't stand Meg, anything she does, like the next little baby step that she steps out of line, it's over. I think it's a pattern for him, and I'm predicting that he's going to be the first to crack during Casa Amor. Like, I cannot believe that he's going to stay loyal to, yeah, I think like in the first 2 seconds he's going to crack. And he's going to be like, he's going to walk into Casa Amor, he's going to be like super smiley, and he's going to act exactly the same way that he did with Meg and then with Militia. I'm predicting that. And then finally, the last chat of the episode with Militia and Meg, and it doesn't go very well. I mean, you can tell, I could tell that Militia wanted to argue more calmly, and Meg was just emotionally dysregulated. She was very stressed out. She was basically starting to yell, and then the girls just start yelling at each other, swearing at each other. And meanwhile, you just see Dejan just like, he seems checked out. Like, clearly that was the last straw. He's not. Maybe also Militia kind of turned him off, but clearly he doesn't like loud, emotional women, which is fine. Like, yeah, I get it if you want someone calmer, but maybe it turned him off from Militia also. That's it for my recap. Thank you so much for viewing my videos. I have 2 new subscribers. I don't know where you're from. I don't know who you are, but I'm genuinely so happy. Like, yeah, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good night. Bye.